You know something I've been wondering about for a while now? How many people actually live in Caldisla? Looking at this artwork, it seems like the city kind of spans on for a little while, going down this mountain, but I don't know. How many people actually do live here? We've gotten numbers that go up to the millions in terms of the population of areas like Eisenberg, but just how popular is this small little island that harbors Caldisla? I don't know. It's not really that important, but it's just something I've always wondered about. Anyways, hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we arrived in a new world and went and took down the entirety of the Knights of the Eternian Sky, all in one fell swoop. They seem to be more welcoming, I don't know if that's the best word, than other versions of their themselves. I think that's probably the better way of saying it. Anyway, so it's been pretty interesting, and today we're going to be going to the Florchiem Sea areas, Anchime and Florum, and taking down the Merchantry and the Blood Rose Legion, which I think will be pretty interesting fights. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you case. I was gonna go to Rende Village for a second there, but then I realized, oh yeah, we're done with the Rende Village. I want to go ahead and showcase the changes that I've made to my builds, as I do kind of need to nerf myself a little bit. If you remember from last episode, I kind of overtuned myself, and the Knights didn't really stand much of a chance. So, for right now, I've swapped Ringabel over to Knight. Now, this is actually something that I want to showcase, as I got a lot of feedback. Well, I wouldn't really say it's feedback, but it's a lot of comments on the Knight job overview video of people who really liked the job and talked about how it carried them through most of the game, and that it's a pretty reliable unit. And while I do not think this job is really bad, I do not think it is that great. But I want to go ahead and try a build that I've been messing around with a little bit on my own time, that I think actually might be something to look at if you want to make the Knight kind of a really strong defensive build. And that's going to be utilizing ninjutsu, specifically the ability Karai, which will basically make one of your teammates or yourself the target of enemies' attacks, but only for the turn in which it is used. So the general idea is to literally just have your Knight spam Karai every single turn just to take every single hit. I kind of did this a little bit in the previous chapter where I used Idia as ninja to direct aggro, but this time I have Ringabel as the Knight, who is going to be just constantly spamming on himself. I wanted to keep Agnes and Idia the same jobs as they were previously, as, especially in Idia's case, I didn't really get to show off her power as much as I really wanted to, so I'll be keeping her on Vampire, same build as last time, but I have moved Tiz over from Dark Knight to Swordmaster, as my Dark Nebula strategy was a little too powerful. I was not expecting it to hit that hard this early. But I guess I should have seen it coming. I'm level 92, and yeah, whatever. But other than that, like, this build is mostly just to showcase the tankiness of the Knight, and maybe, who knows, maybe my opinion on this job might change with this. But anyway, we're going to be heading over to Anchime, and seeing what's up here. I bet we could just very easily walk into the throne room and be done with this, right?
What? Is it cold for you too, Jackal?
Is that a problem? Personally, I'm more shocked to see you here. It's a wonder you get invited anywhere with that attitude. Arrogant toad.
Feeble insults aside, I agree. There is no call for me to be bothered with all this.
Who decorates their house like this? All this clatter's fit to make my eyes bleed.
You have never seen the Royal Palace before?
Seems we're all here. Your Majesty, this boy is Jackal, bearer of the Thief's Asterisk.
A thief? Well, so be it. Boy, who's the walking timepiece here, and why'd you call him your Majesty?
Hold your tongue.
Ah, Erutus. How long has it been since last we met? You never seek my presence of late, though I had sought to be so very accommodating.
Oh, I ask that you forgive your humble servant, Majesty. I fear work has me running this way and that, all for His Majesty and Anshan, of course.
I'm certain. Very well. Kent just received word from Central Command in Eternia. It seems they've decided to meet the Vestal in a final showdown within the Duchy proper.
Oh? And what of Anshan? Are we to pick up and leave? What of the wealth, the factories, the influence I have here? Am I to abandon it all? No, I will not stand for this lunacy.
A valid claim, to be certain. However, I sympathize with the Duchy's anti-crystalist beliefs and have devoted my rule to them. Now, the Duchy, the shining light of reason that delivered us from theocracy, cries out for help. I must heed this call, even if it means ceding my throne to another.
You are free to your own opinion. I am not sharing 1 ounce of such sentiments. Isn't that right, Jackal? Come now, speak up!
Hey, any street's the same to a thief. What about you, Chief?
I will defer to His Majesty's command.
Bah! This is insane! Absolute madness! I will not obey such a foolish order! Now, if you will excuse me, I bid you a refreshing day.
So be it. Kent, read my decree so that all may hear.
As you wish. By royal decree of His Majesty, Eloc Quintus Kemmer VIII, all domestic assets of Erutus Profiteure, chairman of Kemmer and Profiteure Merchantry, are hereby frozen from this day hence.
Frozen? No. No, 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 no! With everything frozen, I'll be... What will I do?
You will cooperate, else I'll have this draft enacted as an official fiat. Your choice. Fight by my side, Erutus. Let us save the Duchy together. Do so, and you shall be rewarded with all my assets. An amount easily double what you have now.
First the stick, now the carrot. Your Majesty is most persuasive.
Why'd you have to do that, Kemmer? It would have been perfectly okay if we just let Erutus just suffer in his own frozen assets. But we can't have anything nice now, can we? Ansheim's super spicy cuisine. Ooh, that was positively divine. It's good to know that Ansheim's super spicy cuisine is going strong here in this world too. It sure is. I mean, I'm covered in sweat. I feel like I've been in a sauna. I can't believe you both could handle extra spicy. I wouldn't dare to try. Nor I. But I have figured out one thing of late. Ice cream is simply wonderful after a spicy meal. You know you're right, but even without that, I feel as if I cool down just after a bit of spicy meal. Oh, it's more than a feeling. As the sweat evaporates, it actually cools the body. That makes it perfect for Ansheim, the land blessed by constant zephyr from the Temple of Wind. So that must be why spicy cuisine took root here in this hot desert land. Exactly. Now, on to the next place. Alright, bring it on. What? Spicy restaurant hopping? I don't know if I can handle this. I absolutely could not. I actually really like spicy food, but I've just never really been able to handle it outside of maybe like if ranking on like 5 stars, I'm usually around 3 in terms of spiciness. If 5 is the highest, I can handle 2 or 3. I don't like it mild, but I don't like it being unbelievably spicy. Anyway, I think we don't even need to worry about being under the guise and cover of night. I think we could just probably barge right in and say hi to these fellas. Yep, there they are, just bickering.
All of you together? I fear to even ask.
Ah! The Vestal and her minions are upon us! She's used her witchcraft to catch wind of our plans!
How very convenient. We capture the Vestal here and all my problems disappear. I ask that your majesty keep his promise fresh in mind. Huh?
Well, here we go again! Sigma, support Erutus!
As you wish. Coming, Jackal.
I'm with you, Chief. Come on, old man TikTok. Let's go!
Old man, TikTok? What a motley crew. Ah, and here they come!
Eternian Forces, 2nd Division. Camel and Profiteer Merchantry to battle!
Never get in the way of a man and his money, and Rutus Profiteur is leading the charge here. So, fighting the Cameron Profiteur merchantry together is... I mean, it's interesting. The biggest threat here, personally, is Jackal, surprisingly, as he's the most devastating physical attacker of the bunch. And while he does get a little greedy with his BP, he really doesn't... He doesn't really do much other than hit you really hard, which can be a problem. Kent likes silencing your allies and also utilizing fire sword magic. Nothing we're really all that worried about. Profiteur has his takeover and default strategy. Honestly, I would either just leave him for last or take him down through group cast means, and you'd never really have to focus on him. Just take him down when you take him down. And Kammer is probably the least important threat here, as Velga is a bit annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal. And Stop is annoying. Again, he's kind of like a mosquito. He's annoying, but not really that big of a threat. Honestly, none of these guys have really anything that's new, so we're pretty set to just take them down without much problem. I don't think I'm going to really need to do anything all that special with this encounter. I'm just going to be showing off some really powerful attacks and hoping that it all works out. Ideally, I can take them all down in one fell swoop with my AoE abilities. Yep, there's Karai working really well there, as they're all going for Ring a Bell and they're not really doing all that much damage. Magic attacks are a bit of a problem, but thankfully I do have Adia, who has access to White Wind, and Anyas, which has access to Kira if things go really wrong, but hopefully that doesn't come to pass. We are going to cast a Protect, though, as we got an extra BP from the Quara, so we will cast Protect, and I guess I'll go ahead and cast Re-Raise as well, as we shouldn't really need all that much healing outside of potentially a White Wind. We'll go ahead and lower Kint's magical attack, and we'll use Adia to cast Vampirism and lower everyone's... well, that only lowers their physical defense. Yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and lower everyone's physical defense with Firestorm, and then maybe we'll White Wind next turn. Takeover might be a bit of a problem this turn, but hopefully not. Look at that damage. That was like 8k to every opponent. I am assuming Profiteur is going to do Takeover, but it really shouldn't be that detrimental. Yeah, 2 Takeovers is fine. Okay, yeah, now we're looking a little worse for wear, as Hammer is spamming Quara, but that should be perfectly fine. Again, Anyas, Idia has access to our White Wind, so we can just work around that. I'm tempted to cast Reflect on one individual, but I don't think that's really going to work out in favor. So I'm going to have Anyas default for this turn, and we'll have Tiz default as well. And we'll have Edie go ahead and just cast White Wind, and maybe I can start going on the offense a little bit more next turn. Alright, we heal up. There we go, get everyone to a bit healthier. Belga, okay, so we don't have to worry about extra damage this turn. Thankfully, ninjutsu is not magic, so silence doesn't even matter to ring a bell. So we're going to use this extra BP that we have to re-up our haste. And we don't have to worry about a re-raise, so we're just going to cast another shell. We're going to use Tiz to just cast Free Lunch, as we're going to go into the offense here fairly soon. And then I'm going to send Idia into the negative here, actually, as their physical defense is lowered. And Provoteur's most likely going to go on the offense, which means he will be open to attack. So I think I might as well go ahead and just start spamming attacks. Let's go to Earthquake, as it is one of the stronger attacks we can do. I think 1.25 versus 1.2, potentially. Let's go ahead and just start spamming Firestorm, I guess. Yeah! This will also re-up the physical defense down. And since none of them really have any immunity to fire, we can work with that. Hooray!
Are we done yet? Hurry up and name your prize.
This is probably one of my favorite vampire builds, as it does a lot of damage with barely any effort, as you can see. 8k on average, which is pretty good. They're definitely not looking too well in terms of the HP department at this point. So we're just going to keep our defenses up, and hopefully they're going to go down pretty quick. The takeover is really the biggest issue here, as we no longer really need to worry about Quara. Though I should most likely heal with Anyes here. We're going to Karai. I was hoping to maybe take them down immediately, but I'll go ahead and use Tiz to heal, to finish off. Maybe I can finish off Cammer. Yeah, we'll just heal up a little bit, and then we'll work on that. We'll work on healing him a little bit more next turn. We're just gonna spam Amp Strike on Cammer, and then it'll redirect to someone else later down the road. I want to take advantage of this physical defense lowering as much as possible.
For anti-crystalism and Eternia! I must hasten to the duchy.
You're in my way, old man! Move!
It's funny you should say that, because you probably just lost your most important asset right there, as he was the only one that was really a big threat to me, which is pretty funny to think about. So now that one member of the team is down, their AI is going to shuffle a little bit. Not too much, but they might begin to be a bit more aggressive now that they're down a teammate. So we will need to play a bit safer. Ideally, Chairman Provoteur does not decide to. Okay, he's not going to use Takeover. He's going to default this turn. So I need to make sure I have at least a little over 4,000 HP to survive next turn, which is going to be pretty easy to do. If we group cast 2 Curas, we will hit that threshold, and that'll be enough to get Ring a Bell through this next encounter. Maybe not, actually. No, okay, that's a problem. Oh well. Ring a Bell will go down here, but that's okay. We have re-raise. Yep. So he can just immediately Karai again. Let me make sure I put the right button down. There we go. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so re-raise coming in clutch there. We're gonna have his defaults. We're gonna have Idia go ahead and re-up Firestorm on the enemy. I guess I should have White Wind there, but it will be okay.
I'll teach you lot some respect!
Daggle's not looking good there. Hey, potion, that's my potion. Oh well, 500 HP is literally nothing. It doesn't matter. Also, yeah, I put the Ice Flame Shield on Ring-a-Bell prior to this, which just makes it to where as soon as Kint switches over to his fire element, it does nothing to him. I mean, he was taking 1 damage beforehand, but now he's just taking 0, which is pretty funny to me. But the aggro management of Ring-a-Bell here is working like a charm. We're gonna go ahead and free lunch with Tiz and just end his turn there, as we'll have him spam Amp Strike next turn. And we'll go ahead and send India over into the negative once more, as I'm pretty confident we can finish this off now with just a White Wind on our team, and then we'll go ahead and just spam 3 Earthquakes and see if it does more damage than our Firestorm. If it doesn't do that. Okay, Profiteur is defaulting, unfortunately, but maybe I can still finish him off. Let's hope so, at least. Maybe not.
Not yet. I'll not end here. Go, Jackal. You've done enough.
And with that, all 4 members of the merchantry are down. That one was a little bit more of a fight. I was not expecting Camera to be the biggest threat for this build, but upon consideration, the fact that this is a more physical-focused team, it makes sense. Anyway, for our efforts, we get 4 Turbo Ethers.
My assets! My beautiful, precious assets!
What is the matter with you, Erutus? I have yet to enact that decree. Your money is fine. Now run to the airship dock with all haste.
What? Then I am still having the second chance?
Yes, yes, but only if you run, man.
That's enough talk from the stupid hack club! Both of you stop flapping your lips and run!
Stupid? How dare you mock the very latest in royal fashion, you up-jumped urchin!
Hear me, Vestal. We return now to the Duchy by order of the Lord Marshal. Should we meet there on the field of battle, I shall greet you with blade newly honed. Until then, farewell.
They certainly left in a hurry.
I knew the Duchy's airships were being built here in Ansheim, but
Didn't expect to see its king take off in one.
Best we spoke with the Prime Minister. Ansheim will have need of him now more than ever.
Well, let's just hope that Prime Minister is actually effective in this world. Seems like it. Ansheim welcomes your return, Lady Vestal. Yeah, well, once again, the interactions between the Eternian Forces and our squad have been fairly okay. I mean, we haven't fought to the death, at least. Also, while I may not be the biggest fan of Jackal, he's absolutely correct. Stupid Hat Club is a good way of describing the entirety of the merchantry. Outside of him, he doesn't wear a hat, he wears a hood. I mean, I have spoken on end in this playlist and in the job video that I am not a big fan of the Time Age style, and so I'm totally okay with all of the bashing on Camera's design. Now, with Ansheim out of the way, there's not really much for us to see in Ansheim. There's nothing new there. So I think we'll go ahead and just head straight to Florchiem and see what's there for us.
The Lord Marshal intends to face the Vestal and her fellow conspirators within the Duchy itself. All divisions have been ordered back to Eternia. You two will finally be free of this place, and the bitter memories it holds.
Florchiem, a refuge of the Crystal Orthodoxy. A land as cruel as it is beautiful.
no prey here. No strong, proud warrior left here.
I agree. I shall be eager to return home with the both of you at my side.
What's this? Plotting to run off without your dashing captain. Rather serious breach in protocol, that.
Perhaps if the captain weren't out carousing when orders arrived from the Duchy.
You never were one for humor. So, what does the stale old Templar say?
He ordered all divisions to return to Eternia. We are to stop the Vestal there.
Ah, it's the old concentrate your forces tactic. A little late, though. Oh, here's an idea. What say you ladies to a little fun with yours truly? Plenty of time before they arrive to take us home.
Okay, Mr. Freak back at it. He's a psycho in every world. Why did I go to the inn? Whatever. That cutscene's a little awkward. I mean, we already know that De Rosa's a uncontrollable freak, but especially since the Venus Sisters' ages are raised higher in the Western release where they're mostly adults, in Japan, not so much. Most of them are actually underage, which just makes his De Rosa's side quest and this cutscene right there just all the more creepier. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a few remedies real quick, just in case. Oh, I have 21. Never mind. Okay, I'll go ahead and buy some teleport stones. Why not? Because we're going to be going up against De Rosa, make sure everyone has like a Lamia's Tiara or Charm Immunity or something to remove the threat of that captivating cologne. So, go to the Performer, give Anya's Charm Immunity, and I guess we can give her... Do I have anything else? I'll give her Steady MP Recover instead of MP 20% up. That way, she has some way of recovering MP instead of having a lot of it. I think this build will be pretty okay for De Rosa. I mean, De Rosa is probably going to be the biggest threat of the bunch, and it's mostly because he's got powerful magic. I could give one of my team members access to Spiritism. Or I could just cast Shell. I'll probably just do that. I'll go ahead and give Anyas the Brave Suit then. That way that she has extra access to BP at the beginning of combat. We'll go ahead and save up, and that should be enough to work this out. So, I'm not going to dawdle around the bush. Let's go ahead and jump straight into De Rosa's secret lab.
Commanding officer or not, lay a hand upon my sisters, and you'll never use it again!
Let's not be hasty now, Artemia. No call to be knocking arrows. We're all friends here. And don't think I don't hear that incantation under your breath, Mephilia.
Unhand that vial! That's it. Now hand it over. Slowly.
All right. Whatever you say. You don't miss a thing, do you? Save for the unexpected guests behind you. Perhaps this isn't the best time for our little spat.
What? The Vestal? And Adia?
Just great. The Blood Rose Legion, all together in the same room? Just what are you plotting this time?
Well, my fair ladies, shall we go at each other? Or face the Vestal and her minions?
Fight De Rosa? Boring. Fight Adia? More fun!
Oh, your words wound me so.
3 sisters enjoy battle till airship come. Not dirty old captain.
Artemia, wait! This isn't...
Family. Sister, great battle call!
Me? But...
Be my guest, but make it sound impressive.
Oh. Eternian Forces, 3rd Division, Blood Rose Legion, to battle!
Einherja is a worthy leader and should absolutely be the captain of the Blood Rose Legion. Anyways, why don't they just gang up on De Rosa with us? Come on, make it a 7 versus 1. I want to see that happen. Come on. Anyway, so the Blood Rose Legion, fighting these guys together is actually a little difficult as they synergize pretty well with each other. DeRosa is a pretty dangerous opponent to go after first, as he has access to revenge, but if you don't, he's going to be spamming you with very powerful magics and captivating cologne if you don't mitigate it. And on the other hand, we also have another dangerous magical threat in the form of Mephilia, who has Gear to Blulu, as for some reason she hasn't mastered Susanoo in this world. At least if she has, I've never seen her cast it. But either way, Gear to Blulu is a problem here, so make sure to keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and cast Haste on our party and then immediately cast Shells. We're going to want that magical defense as high as possible. And we're also going to put Tiz into the negative, as I really, really want to make sure the magical attackers of this team are put in their place as soon as possible. So we're going to Skull Bash both DeRosa and Mephilia. When it comes to Artemia and Einherja, if you have a character who can manage physical attacks like I do with Ring a Bell, they're not really that big of a threat outside of Multiburst and Crescent Moon, but honestly, they're not that strong compared to the magic damage dealers, which is surprising because usually Artemia and Einherja are the most dangerous players on the battlefield in their respective fights. But no, they're fairly manageable. So just play this safe and make sure that at least the magic dealers are dealt with. Which is why we're going to be doing Skull Bash and whatnot to lower the magical attack potency as much as humanly possible. Ideally, DeRosa doesn't try to spam magic attacks like Thundara and whatnot over and over again, and Mephilia only uses her summons once every 3 turns, so they are a mitigated threat for most of the battle. My plan is, realistically, to just boost myself up as high as I can with my physical attack power, and just have Idia take them down in a very short burst of time. We're going to go ahead and Firestorm to lower everyone's physical defense, and then hopefully we can begin going on the offense here fairly soon. DeRosa is going to be Braving, which means I am dreading the damage output he's going to have. Hopefully it's not that bad. Kira, okay, he's healing Artemia and then Thundara. Okay, yeah, our double shell strategy was very much worth it. I'm going to cast Karai. I think I'm going to go ahead and have everyone else default, though, as Gear to Blulu is probably showing up here fairly soon. Multiburst. Oh, that's not good. It went on to 2 targets instead of 4. Okay, Mephilia is not using Gear to Blulu, but now I'm very scared of it this turn. I'm actually going to go ahead and greed this a little bit. We're going to have Agnes re-up everyone's shell, and also our haste. I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, as I am risking a lot right now, but I have 1 extra turn of the magic attack down, so I'm actually going to go ahead and greed this. I'm going to heal everyone up with Idia, and hopefully nothing bad happens. We can act first, thankfully, so we'll be able to get our HP up fairly high, and our defenses. Okay, are we going to get a Gear to Blulu? We are not going to get a Gear to Blulu. Okay, cool. Ring a Bell is going to Karai. We're going to default with Agnes, default with Tiz, and go ahead and default with Idia as well. I want Einherja back on the ground before I do Firestorm again. Thundara is a bit of a problem. Please go into multiple people. No, Multiburst. Gear to Blulu. Okay, we are good. So I'm going to have to re-up some abilities here, though. We've got Ring a Bell, who has access to another action, but I don't really know what I can do with it, so I'll hold on to it just in case he needs to recover the battle in some way. We're gonna have Agnes. We'll have her. We've already re-upped our abilities, so we'll have her cast Re-Raise just in case, and we'll have her cast Cura twice. Actually, no. I want to keep one of the extra BP, and then Tiz is gonna go ahead and fully. We'll go ahead and Brave twice. We'll Skull Bash DeRosa and Mephilia. And then we'll go ahead and Free Lunch. Actually, I could just Free Lunch first. That way I can save a little bit of MP. It's not much MP, it's 18 MP I'd save, but hey, 18 MP might come in handy. And then we'll have Idia go ahead and... where are you? Firestorm to lower everyone's physical defense, and then we'll go ham on them next turn. We'll speed things up here.
My spear was honed beneath the sword master. It shall not waver.
Yeah, you're doing a fairly decent job here. You are hitting Ring a Bell, which is good for me. Okay, no revenge proc there, which is really good. Captivating Cologne is going to do absolutely nothing, which is really, really nice. We're going to set up Karai on Ring a Bell. I guess I could probably re-up Spell, as that's more important than Haste, as Anius will outspeed everyone anyways. We'll go ahead and send Tiz into the negative, as I want to get rid of De Rosa as soon as possible. And as long as I just don't give him any room to breathe, that should be possible. So I'm not going to send Idia into the negative, though. I'm just going to go ahead and spam my abilities. We'll go ahead and spam Firestorm, as Artemia is weak to fire, so it's extra damage on her at least. Spam this, and then ideally De Rosa goes down this turn, maybe even Artemia because of the extra damage bonus. So we'll see. Okay, come on, Tiz, take him down. Okay, no revenge proc yet, except for one.
I can go all night. I've got a reputation to keep.
No! That hurts!
Lame. Weak. Hard on eye. Old man, retreat!
Okay, so we're done fighting, right? The big threat is down and out, right, guys? We can just kick him while he's down and then kumbaya, right? No? We have to continue fighting? Okay, whatever. Anyway, so the rest of these girls honestly aren't that big of a threat. I don't think I really need to worry about damage too much. I might actually be able to just finish them off now. I think the damage output of Firestorm is more than enough to finish all three of them off. So, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do that.
Sunaman, watch over me! Still fight more!
And with that, the Blood Rose Legion is down. Honestly, if you are able to mitigate Captivating Cologne and boost your magical defenses as high as possible, they really aren't that big of a threat, unless you get super unlucky with Multiburst, as I almost got. Multiburst was about to screw me over multiple times that fight, but thankfully it worked itself out. But yeah. Four Turbo Ethers for this battle. Man, we are stacking up that item. Holy moly.
Artemia, have you lost your mind?
Artemia not wrong. 3-fought battle. No regrets. Nephilia and Einherja both shine in Legion's last battle.
I agree. But what about that old lech?
De Rosa, useless fool. All bark, no bite. Zero charm.
Hey, now, isn't that a tad bit harsh? Ow!
Airship, come to take back home.
And with that, the Blood Rose Legion is out of Florum. I wonder what this big confrontation that the Duchy has planned actually is. I'm sure we'll figure more about it as we go and take down the Black Blades and eventually the Council of Six, which is exactly what we'll be doing next time. But for today, 2 big fights is enough for me. We showcased a pretty interesting build, and okay, I'm willing to admit this is a pretty strong setup for the Knight, as I had no real issue with Ring a Bell outside of the earth damage of Cammer and the flat damage of Takeover. But in terms of mitigating physical damage, this is a pretty strong build. I don't think my opinion on Knight has really changed all that much. It still has a few too many blind spots for my liking, but hey, I mean, this can really help someone if you're having trouble with a fight that has a lot of physical attack power behind it. This is a really, really good build, and I highly recommend it if you want to use the Knight. But for right now, I am done. So next time on Bravely Default, we'll be heading over to Eisenberg and taking down the Black Blades, and then probably heading over to Eternia to see what this whole Duchy's plan is all about. So, with all of that said, I'll see you soon.